supportive, you can f***ing leave.
Why out here?
It's stupid wood in here, it's stupid.
My wife has to take care of me and clean me because I can't do it by myself. It's humiliating. A relationship's supposed to be about giving and taking.
After filming her episode, Nicole sued the producers of My 600-Pound Life for fraud, and at the end of her episode, you kind of start to understand why she might have wanted to do that. Nicole's episode is one of the craziest we have ever seen, and the fact that she can't fit through her bathroom door and has to be hosed down on her front porch like an animal is really what takes the cake. Take a look.
You don't bathe your girlfriend, but I don't have another option, even though Charlie's very devoted to me. I feel very humiliated. I know Charlie says he doesn't mind, but it's not right that he has to do this for me.
Nicole tells me that it's very humiliating that I had to hose her butt.
Well, that is one interesting metaphor. Charlie may be willing to jump through flaming hoops for his girlfriend, but is he willing to not give her all the unhealthy food and snacks she asks for? Well, that is a bit complicated. Anyway, Nicole's parents are recovering addicts, but they stay with her under one interesting condition.
I found I was pregnant with my second child. I gave birth to Shelby. I'd put on so much weight, I either had to stay in bed all day or use a wheelchair to get around, which forced my parents to move in with me. But I made them promise that they were drug-free, and I told them if they brought drugs into my house, they would be gone in a heartbeat.
Maybe it is just me, but you probably should not gain so much weight that you have to invite your addict parents into your home to take care of you and help you take care of your kids. That is just not done. And of course, Nicole's mother flies off the handle sometimes too.
If I wasn't here, Lord only knows what would happen.
And my mom gets upset because I'm so big, I can't do anything.
What are you doing, Jaden? I'm just sick of this. I need help with these damn kids.
She gets upset like she did when I was a child, and she takes it out on me and my kids.
This is not the greatest living condition, but somehow Nicole continues to put on weight even in that condition. Perhaps it has something to do with how much she eats. Let us see how that goes.
Because it has to be done exactly right, so it tastes as good as it should. And I'm not letting anyone mess it up. It's ready for the oven.
All right.
When I know that there's a meal being cooked, I just start getting really excited. I start craving the food. I need to know exactly what's being cooked, so I prepare mentally for it, and I just start freaking out.
That is a lot of food, even for someone at that size. Anyway, it is time for Nicole to make changes in her life, and the one way she can do this is by making that long trip to see Dr. Now. She knows Dr. Now is her last chance, so she has made an appointment to see him. But the journey is one of the hardest things Nicole has ever done. It makes her go crazy.
My back hurts telling you on the
You know this is going to be a 3-hour ordeal with her.
Charlie, you know what? If you aren't going to be supportive, you can f***ing leave.
Why out here?
It's stupid wood in here, it's stupid. Why would they put wood on a floor in a hotel?
To make it look nice?
That is quite ironic, right? Nicole is the one who weighs over 600 pounds, and all of this is really her fault. Nicole and her family eventually get past that, and then they eventually meet Dr. Now, who has this to say to them.
My boyfriend and my mom.
Why are you doing that?
If she wants it, she'll throw a fit if I don't get it for her.
So, Nicole, let me get this straight. You don't want to eat the bad food, but you have to because your family makes you, and you bring the bad food because she will get upset. So I think I'm picking up on some of the problem.
It is a very difficult situation indeed. Dr. Now says that Nicole has to lose 30 pounds over the next month. He says if she follows his meal plan, he will have no problem giving her weight loss surgery after a few months. But that is only if she follows the plan. So does she? Let us see what happens at her next weigh-in.
And I really have no idea if I'm even close to that.
673.
I'm a little disappointed that I didn't lose what I was supposed to, and I'm scared about what the doctor's gonna say. But I hope Dr. Now sees that I am making progress so I can get bariatric surgery.
That is so true. Also, did you notice that Charlie, Nicole's boyfriend, has also put on some weight? Well, now you know. Dr. Now says Nicole has to stop blaming her family and needs to lose 30 pounds over the next month before he can approve her for weight loss surgery. But before that happens, Nicole and her boyfriend get into another huge fight that shows just how crazy she is.
This ain't my fault. This is just a situation that happened that we gotta get through together as a family. It doesn't help when I'm getting jumped every day
I'm not
over
jumping,
the
dude.
situation.
I nag, I don't jump
My
on
mom
you.
nags me and says she wishes she was still in Ohio. I don't see none of you guys helping me. I'm
Because you got one
literally.
laptop you won't let nobody use.
This is so tough. Will Nicole ever lose any weight? Well, the next time she has a weigh-in, she loses only 6 pounds, despite Dr. Now asking her to lose 30 pounds. Of course, Nicole has her own excuses.
So we couldn't eat healthy, and my family would be eating.
I don't want any more excuses. You're still responsible for your choices and what you eat.
To be quite honest, I'm not having very much emotional support at home, and it's just made me upset at this point. I just feel lost.
Being delusional makes things even worse. Then Dr. Now makes Nicole's challenge harder. He asks her to lose 30 pounds for 2 months in a row. He also asks her to see a therapist, and that kind of sorta maybe helps. After the 2 months, Nicole indeed loses the needed pounds and gets the surgery.
We encountered a lot of adhesion from a previous C-section, but I was able to manage it and still successfully perform the sleeve. This surgery will keep her focused for a bit, but she still had to deal with her emotional issues to keep making progress long term. And that's going to be hard for her.
Dottie has 2 kids, one has cerebral palsy and the other is 1 year old, and she has to take care of 2 of them while weighing over 600 pounds. In the beginning, it was clear that she was a few feet away from the grave. Listen to her explain her living situation.
When you're my size, it hurts like hell every day to get up and do what I have to do.
I gotta go get your brother, huh?
It's just miserable. On my body, pretty much everything from the waist down hurts. I'm sorry. Just give Mama a minute. But even though I am as overweight as I am, I have to get up every day.
Despite being so huge, Dottie necessarily has to walk around and take care of herself and her disabled son. She has no choice in the matter. They completely depend on her, and it makes the situation so hard. You cannot help but pity her as she huffs and puffs around with her child.
But I can barely get around, and it makes it so hard to take care of them. I'm not able to take big steps. I have to take small steps in fear that I might fall. But I have no choice. Daniel can't survive without his medicine and everything else he needs.
Wow, that is a tough life. But despite all these responsibilities that Dottie has, she still has time to eat like 3 armies when it is time for breakfast. When she eats, you can clearly see just how much of her weight gain is her fault.
And I have a love-hate relationship with food. I love to eat it, but I hate what it does to me.
I've never had chicken nuggets that tasted that good. They were delicious.
I've just never been able to stop, even when I knew I was getting too big.
Being out in public is so hard for Dottie. She has to use a motorized cart, and people often stare at her. It isn't the best situation at all, and it can be very awkward, like you can clearly see here.
Nobody making fun of her or, looking. That's the reason why she don't get out that much.
Look, let's get a big bag of these potatoes because they're on sale.
Yeah, that works. I really don't know what she's going through. The only thing I can do is just try there and be there for her. But I think Dottie does eat a little bit too much.
It looks like it will be very difficult for Dottie to kick her eating habit. When she gets to Dr. Now, he has very stern words for her and tells her that he wants to see real weight loss from her before he can approve her for surgery. Here is how that meeting went.
You are 640 pounds. How do you think you got here?
It's from having 2 kids. My oldest son, he's disabled. And
How old is he?
He's 12.
12? Mm-hmm. Okay.
And he requires 24-hour care. He has cerebral palsy.
So you stay home and you take care of the children?
Yeah.
Okay. But what do your eating habits look like? What kind of food do you eat?
Pizza.
That is right. Dr. Now says that Dottie has to be eating up to 30,000 calories a day. The fact that she is blaming her kids for her weight gain means she is probably not yet in the right headspace to lose the weight she needs to lose, which is a terrible thing. Dr. Now tells her to lose 40 pounds over the next 2 months, and he believes it should be easy for her. But will it be? Let us see.
So I'm focused on eating healthier choices and not so much the amounts. Will you bring me some of them chips?
Yeah. What you want?
I don't need you to dole me out. But I have cheated a little bit. But I've been doing all the other stuff on the diet, and I feel like I'm making good progress.
That is just a little bit cheating? Really? Anyway, we will see how that translates to the scale, won't we, Dottie? The next time Dottie goes to Dr. Now, here is how her weigh-in goes. But before we check that out, do you think she lost weight or she gained some?
Your goal was to get under 600 pounds. You are at 635 pounds. So what's going on?
I don't know.
You don't know? Let's figure it out. What do you eat for lunch?
I mean, I'm not eating as much. I usually eat like a couple of boiled eggs.
Dottie is really just lying to Dr. Now. The doctor has to admit her into the hospital and put her on a liquid diet to help her understand that the only key to losing weight is controlling her diet. But around the same time, her son got admitted into the hospital because he could not breathe. So Dottie could not follow Dr. Now's care plan for her. This is obviously bad, and when Dottie's sister visits, she says exactly that. And this is what happens.
Is often because it's hard to come by and not be able to say something. And I know you gain weight. Is that true?
There's reasons behind the way things are.
Dottie,
You know?
there's reason. I've got things that's went on in my life.
And you have different coping mechanisms than what I have. And that's the difference in us. You are not me.
But does it stop? Well, Dottie has missed a couple of appointments, and Dr. Now asked her to watch her weight even while she was taking care of her son. She obviously did not, and here is the result.
Okay, after your last visit, you didn't go to the hospital to be admitted because you had an emergency with your son, and I understand that. But that didn't mean that you had to gain 30 pounds over that time. You went 70 pounds in the wrong direction. So what is going on?
That is right, it won't. Dr. Now admits her immediately, puts her on a controlled diet for a month, and this eventually helps her make progress. In the end, she gets her surgery and starts losing weight on her own.
In my life, I've had people tell me I'm eating too much and criticize me for that, but no one had given me any help to do it. I finally have that now. This is my cabinet. We're cleaning it out of the stuff that we just don't eat. As far as my freezer, it's rather empty. It's mainly just vegetables. No more ice cream.
Chad was so fat as a teen that the newspapers used to call him the $3,000 machine. Today, he weighs over 600 pounds and feels like the biggest loser the world has ever seen. He is a husband and a father, but his family just treats him like an invalid. It is the worst spot to be, and here is how it looks.
My life is depressing. I need help with just about everything.
You ready?
My wife has to take care of me and clean me because I can't do it by myself. It's humiliating. A relationship's supposed to be about giving and taking.
That is indeed so humiliating. When he met his wife, Chad was around 500 pounds, and his weight wasn't really an issue. Her kids became his kids, and he provided for them. But soon, everything changed.
What today, boss? One day, I went to get up in the truck, and I made up to the top step, and being the size I am, my left leg gave, and I came out of the truck onto the ground. It was right there and then is why I knew driving was over. I still kept eating. Even though that's the one thing that's taken everything from me, I still turned to it. I still did it. Aisha's whole world turned upside down the day I fell out of that truck.
Can you see what he is having for breakfast? That is a great insight into just how our man Chad got to that size. But the good thing is that he has decided to make a change by going to Houston to see Dr. Now. But before that, let's watch Chad go crazy on another plate of food on the same day.
I don't know why I can't stop.
And I feel like I'm worthless. There's a lot of days I wonder if this is a day where Aisha's had enough. What's her breaking point before she finally says, I can't do it?
This is not my Chad that I fell in love with. This Chad gave up on himself.
That is such a painful thing for a parent to think about, but the fact is that it could very well happen if Chad does not get his act together. Now they are selling all they have to move to Houston, and the packing process is not going so great. Here is how Aisha describes it.
But I have to try.
I got this. I got it, Quay.
That's all right. Yes. Just leave it, please. Yes. Oh my God.
It's not his fault. He just can't help as much as he like to. But it's a lot of work for me. It is.
You can already start to hear the resentment in her voice. She really hates that she has to do this, and if this weight loss program does not work, it might be the end of her marriage to Chad. And why is he even so upset about not getting a second sandwich? Anyway, they get to Houston, and this is what Dr. Now has to say.
Who fixed the food?
Her and my daughter.
And they okay with that, or?
They're not okay with it. The problem is if I don't get it, I become mean. Not mean, violent mean, but
obnoxious.
Yes.
So you turn the whole family into enablers. If they don't feed you, they have to deal with you.
That is correct. So does he do it? Does Chad lose the weight he needs to lose to get the point where he can get his surgery? The answer is yes, he did. And despite all the craziness, he got approved for his surgery.
You lost 40 pounds exactly. Everyone did great.
Last time I came, you said I didn't qualify for the surgery at all.
Now there's a light at the end of the tunnel. So
I'll take it.
Chad done very well. He still has a long road ahead of him, but I believe he's meant mentally ready to start this journey now. At this point, we're gonna go ahead and approve you for surgery.
Wow.
Brittany is so fat that she has decided to stop allowing her husband to see her naked because she believes he will be so disgusted at the sight of her body that he would simply leave her. It is so bad that they have never had actual physical intercourse. You might think that is excessive, but when you see how she struggles with her daily routine, you kind of get the point a little bit. Take a look at just how much she struggles to wash herself.
To be inside of my body, it is pain. It is sadness. Most of the time, I'm like, maybe it'd be better if I just don't wake up, because every single day I look at myself in the mirror and I'm like, what did you do to yourself? A human body should not look the way my body looks. That is the most disgusting thing in the world.
Phew, that is actually disgusting. Brittany basically hides from the world and her husband and does nothing all day. The only time she gets up is when she needs to get a tasty treat or food. She is so tied to food that she cannot remember a time she did not have this sort of parasitic relationship with food. Here is what a regular mealtime looks like for Brittany.
Brittany alone could eat as much food as a normal family of four would order.
That's your wings.
I will eat until I feel like I'm gonna throw up, and then that doesn't even stop me. And when I'm done, I think I'm the most nastiest, most disgusting person in the world. And then I need to eat more to make me feel happy. And it's just a vicious cycle.
And that right there is the problem. When Brittany gets to Houston, she discovers that she weighs 605 pounds. And here is what Dr. Now had to say about her weight gain. Let us take a look.
So you're over 600 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think got you to this weight?
Emotional eating in general. Stress, depression, anxiety. But I also eat when I'm happy and when things are going good.
Okay.
I just eat.
Brittany clearly is a compulsive eater. This type of behavior is usually a result of emotional trauma. When an enabler is involved, it is one of the most difficult dynamics to break.
Haha, imagine being Brittany's husband here. He took Brittany to Dr. Now to get her weight checked out, but Dr. Now also thinks he is overweight and wants him to lose weight as well. Anyway, the point is that this eating habit is going to be difficult to break because Brittany's husband probably eats too much too and may be unable to tell her no. So Dr. Now lays down the ground rules, and here is what that looks like.
So frequency of eating has to be only 3 times a day?
No snacks, like not even like
No
carrots
snack.
or nothing?
No.
Okay.
There is no such thing like a healthy snack. If you change your habit, you should be able to lose 40 pounds in 1 month.
Okay.
This is going to be something that you both going to have to work on it.
I can do that.
The time to do this is now.
So did Brittany and her husband do it? Well, she is disappointed she did not get the weight loss surgery immediately, but she is determined to make it work. She now writes down every single thing she eats and is counting her calories very seriously. So does that work? Does she get to where she needs to be to get that surgery? Let us see.
I've done really well. Stayed within 1,200 calories, very little carbs. So I think I've done really well.
So the diet is working for you.
So am I on the right path? I'm doing okay?
Yeah, you're doing good.
Really?
You understand the process and you're able to make changes in your eating habits, so you're a good candidate for surgery.
Thank you.
Okay?
Thank you so much.
Dr. Now is impressed and sets her up for surgery for the next month. The surgery is successful, and Brittany comes out of it doing great. By the end of her episode, she had lost nearly 200 pounds.
The past few months have been amazing. I have made so much progress. I am doing so much more, and I have so much more energy. I'm able to help Bill in the mornings, make him breakfast, do the laundry, and I clean. And it may sound really boring to someone, but it's what I've always wanted.
As Brittany's losing the weight, she's definitely back to the Brittany I knew when I first met her. We're able to do more and more together.